Coming up next on Middle Tennessee News, former attorney to President Trump, Michael Cohen, is testifying about the president.
And an abducted Smyrna infant is finally home safe.
And we have coverage on the Oakland versus Blackman basketball game.
All those stories, plus your latest weather. Middle Tennessee News starts right now. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Kristen Allen.
And I'm Eric Worth. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
A Smyrna infant is home safe, but the baby's kidnapper is still on the loose. Police responded to a domestic call at 28-year-old Bo Beecham and his girlfriend's home. The woman reported Beecham assaulted her and fled with the couple's 2-week-old preemie. Early this morning, the child was returned to relatives, but Beecham is still on the run. Rutherford County Police ask that if you know any information on his whereabouts, call 615-893-1311.
On Tuesday, Governor Bill Lee announced initiatives for a mental health and suicide prevention. Lee believes the mental health of our citizens is the foundational to all of our goals we seek to accomplish in education, job growth, and public safety. Lee is proposing an $11.2 million in funding to improve services for those who have mental illnesses. Lee is also proposing $3 million investment to the creation of homes initiatives that has been creating homes for those living with mental illnesses since 2000. Lee plans on expanding the state's partnership with the Tennessee Suicide Prevention Network to help communities lower the current suicide rate from 20% with a proposal of $1.1 million investment.
The Rutherford County Commission meeting touched on issues across the board this month. Resolutions of sympathy were held for members of the community who have passed. Resolutions of recognition were also made for the administrator of the Rutherford County Election Commission and the Smyrna High School bowling team for their undefeated season and state title. Efforts were made to approve a general fund budget agreement. This includes renovations for the courthouse and plans to fund employee insurance due to enrollment changes. Commissioners were at arms in fear of drastic shifts in their policies. Commissioner Robert Peete assured that the insurance proposal would be no threat.
There is a chance of adding, I think the maximum was like 35 people that could possibly be added between the three boards. However, what convinced me to go ahead and say I'm okay with this is there is a stop loss and $750,000. So anything over that, our insurance will pick that up. So we're not going to be cranking up bills, millions of dollars on one individual.
Commissioners will meet again on March 14th.
There's been no lack of drama and intrigue on Capitol Hill today as the president's former lawyer Michael Cohen testifies publicly for the first time. Kristen Holmes has the latest on the hearing from Washington.
A stinging rebuke of President Trump.
He is a racist, he is a con man, and he is a cheat.
Delivered by his former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen during an electric public hearing on Capitol Hill. Cohen alleging Trump knew ahead of time that WikiLeaks intended to release emails damaging to Hillary Clinton's campaign in 2016.
He was a presidential candidate who knew that Roger Stone was talking with Julian Assange about a WikiLeaks drop on Democratic National Committee emails.
Cohen also testifying that President Trump instructed him to use his own funds for hush money payments to Stormy Daniels in 2016 to keep quiet about an alleged affair with Trump, an affair Trump has denied.
This $35,000 check was one of 11 check installments that was paid throughout the year while he was president.
Republicans slamming Cohen's trustworthiness.
The first announced witness for the 116th Congress is a guy who is going to prison in 2 months for lying to Congress.
The hearing giving Cohen a chance to tell his side of the story before reporting to prison in May for a 3-year sentence. He has pleaded guilty to tax crimes, campaign finance violations, and lying to Congress in previous testimony. Now, he's cooperating against his former boss.
I have lied. but I am not a liar. And I have done bad things, but I am not a bad man.
In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes.
As for President Trump, this morning he tweeted a rebuttal from Vietnam where he is meeting with Kim Jong-un, saying Michael Cohen is, quote, lying in order to reduce his prison time.
Tennessee State Representative Mark Green spoke to the House Wednesday, offering his own opinion on the Cohen testimony.
My colleagues on the other side of the aisle claim that they want the truth, that they want transparency and fair oversight, yet the Democrats' witness to testify before Congress today is none other than a scorned man who's going to prison for lying to Congress. Let that sink in. He's going to prison for lying to Congress, and he's the star witness to Congress. With all the lies and deception, the self-serving fraud, it begs the question, what is the majority party doing here? No one can see this guy as credible. He will say whatever he wants to accomplish his own personal goals.
9 Rutherford County band students have been invited to perform alongside the United States Navy Band for a free concert at Blackman High School in Murfreesboro, which was chosen at the which was one of the top 25 cities to host the performance during the U.S. Navy Band Tour this year. 9 high school band students from across Rutherford County will join the band in playing the Washington Post March. The concert is free for the public and begins at 7 p.m. A new gun bill has been proposed in Oregon that would allow only a 5-round maximum capacity. While this bill just pertains to Oregon, I report on how just local gun owners are concerned that similar laws could come to Tennessee. The new Oregon bill includes many restrictions, but one that catches many people's eyes is the addition of only allowing a 5-round maximum capacity. This would surpass California's law of 10 rounds per magazine, but some people think this will hurt lawful gun owners and help criminals.
Most of the bad guys are still going to have their high-capacity magazines. They're guns that shoot more than 5 times. They're never going to turn theirs in.
But this bill and many others are in response to the countless number of mass shootings that use high-capacity magazines, such as the Waffle House shooting, the Las Vegas shooting, the Antioch Church shooting, and the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting.
Because weapons of war have no place on our streets, and high-capacity magazines have no place on our shelves.
The trouble of finding the right maximum capacity is that there are many different studies finding varying amounts. There's been many statistics showing that between anywhere from 3 to 20 rounds are necessary in a firefight. Some gun owners feel that 5 rounds is just not enough.
Putting these kind of laws on a legal gun owner and homeowner, somebody trying to defend themselves, I think that could put a pretty good crimp on their abilities to protect themselves and their family.
For Middle Tennessee News, I'm Eric Woolworth. The bill was proposed in January but does not have a vote date.
Governor Bill Lee posted a video announcement on his Twitter welcoming the frozen beverage company Ossy to Tennessee. Ossy is moving from California to Rutherford County and will operate its headquarters from Laverne. The move will create over 200 jobs within the next 5 years, according to the Department of Economic and Community Development. Ossy has been around since 1967 and is the leader in the frozen beverage market. President and CEO of Ossy, Dan Faulkner, says that the company is thrilled to come to Rutherford County for our skilled workforce. The company is stated to invest $10.3 million and will complete the move by December of this year, according to the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce.
Kristen, I know, especially coming in today at work, it's been a beautiful day.
It's been so nice outside. Chairlyn, what's going on out there right now?
You know what, guys? It's been the most beautiful day today. Honestly, the past 3 days have been great. I've been in the best mood, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the weather. Currently, we are experiencing temperatures in about the 69-degree range, so really in the 70s, kind of in the low 70s. It is very sunny outside. If you sit out there, honestly, you will be able to see how gorgeous it really is. And everyone on campus has been enjoying this weather. They've been sitting out eating. And, you know, it's just been a great day today, but unfortunately, we might be experiencing some different weather later on today, so stay tuned for that.
Valentine's Day shoppers spent over $21 billion this year, and tomorrow will mark 2 weeks since the big day, and stores still have plenty of unsold merchandise. Reporter J.R. Smith tells us how unsold Valentine's Day candy can make loneliness worse in single people.
3 lonely roses. It's all that's left in this Peck Hall pod from a sweet Valentine's Day this year, and single students have to keep looking at those roses until they're all gone.
Might make them feel more lonely.
Bradley isn't necessarily wrong. According to a recent MTSU survey, over half of all students said that they experienced loneliness in the last 12 months. But that isn't all.
What I found particularly interesting was of those 53%, half of them said they felt lonely within the previous 2 weeks, and with the timing of that survey, it fell within 2 weeks of Valentine's Day.
So what can singles do about that loneliness? Because Valentine's Day isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Find friends. Maybe they're single too, but just go out and do something as friends for fun. Get yourself out of your apartment, out of your house.
I put her advice to the test. I got out of my dorm for the day, bought a rose at the pod, and asked students if they'd take it, and if it would impact their loneliness. I got some interesting results.
I mean, I was having a bad day, and maybe if you give that to me, my day will be better.
Would you take it? It's after Valentine's Day.
If it's a stranger, I'll think about it.
Did you get something this Valentine's Day?
No.
Would you like this for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, sure.
Would you take it?
Yeah.
All right.
A lesson in friendship with that one lonely rose. And if you want to try and cheer up someone too, I know a place. 2 lonely roses are still sitting there, just waiting for a friend. Reporting in Murfreesboro, J.R. Smith, Middle Tennessee News.
1 in every 10 adults say they feel lonely around Valentine's Day, and over 40% of Americans had negative emotions on the day itself.
Every semester, college students swap schools to find a better fit, but MTSU sees more students transfer in than any other school in Tennessee. Reporter Calvin Smith explains why it's popular to become a Blue Raider after you went to another school.
MTSU has almost 11,000 transfer students on its campus, one of the highest totals in the state. One of MTSU's transfer recruitment directors knows what's drawing students to the university.
So the top 3 reasons that we find that students choose MTSU are academic options. We've got over 140 academic programs. We like to think there's something for everybody. Secondly, cost. So there's a stat, it's something like 70% of transfer students identify cost as one of the top determining factors of where they go. And for MTSU, we're one of the top, we're one of the cheapest options as far as 4-year public universities in the state. Lastly, one of the top reasons MTSU is just geographically, because we're smack dab in the middle of the state. So we can reach a lot of students, a lot of prospective students.
A couple transfer students cited those exact reasons in their decision to switch schools.
I picked MTSU because it's closer to me. Obviously, it's closer to home. I was born and raised in Nashville, and I figured commuting was best for my wallet.
I chose MTSU for its location and price because, for example, UTK was 2 hours away from Nashville, and also the tuition was almost double of what I was paying at MTSU.
For Middle Tennessee News, I'm Calvin Smith.
Now that the Tennessee Promise has been introduced in Tennessee, colleges across the state are expected more transfer students.
Coming up after the break, Chairlyn Mello will be here with the main look at weather.
And we're going to talk more about Rutherford County sports. Stay tuned.
Kristen, I've been enjoying this day, and I think I know Chairlyn's going to say some more things on how the weather might be possibly better this weekend.
I know. I hope it stays this nice forever if it can. Chairlyn, what's going on this week?
Well, unfortunately, guys, I don't have really good news for you. Today, we are experiencing some great weather, like I said earlier. We do have a high of 69 today. With sunny, it's going to be very sunny for the rest of the day. Humidity levels at a 39. So it still feels great outside. It's not too warm. The wind's not blowing too hard. So we'll definitely see some great weather today. But for tonight, we might see some small showers going in later into tonight with a low of 45, humidity levels at an 81%. So it is going to be pretty humid outside with the wind levels of 2 miles per hour. And then for the rest of the week, we can look forward to tomorrow. We will see it is going to rain, and that we're going to have a high of 50, low of 41. Going into Friday, we don't really see that much rain. It's just going to be very cloudy outside. So we won't really experience the sun on Friday with a high of 49, low of 42. Saturday, we will also see cloudy skies with a high of 55, low of 42. And then Sunday, we will be experiencing rain with a high of 51, low of 25. So honestly, our 5-day forecast does not look very bright. And honestly, the weekend, you might not really want to go out and sit outside for much long because it's not going to be very beautiful outside. But hopefully we can see some better weather next week. Now, Eric, back to you.
Thanks, Chairlyn. Coming up next, we have Trenton Gray at the MTN Sports Den, and he's going to give you the latest look at what's going on in sports. Stay tuned.
MTSU Raiders look to break their 3-game losing streak against Charlotte Saturday night. First half, Raiders lead. Hawthorne and Scurry for the dunk. Second half, Raiders up 13. Hawthorne hits the 3. One of the few Charlotte highlights here, Mangum hits the 3. Green drives, pulls, hits the 3. Davis trying to come into a 16-point deficit. He hits the 3. Sims lays this in.
Johnson feeds
Scurry to Johnson. He hits the lay-in. Green drives here. He hits the lay-in. Raiders win 86-67. The Raiders play at Rice at UTEP and at home against UTEP before starting the conference tournament. MTSU Lady Raiders look to get back on track. They play UAB. Childers here in the fourth. Hits that, gives UAB the lead. Collier to Johnson. 58-54, Lady Raiders take the lead. Barnes gives UAB the lead here. Jones hits the three, gives MTSU Lady Raiders the lead. Barnes drives, gets fouled. She hits both free throws, game goes into overtime. In overtime, Vendrill hits the three. Kuzmanik hits these free throws, UAB wins. The Lady Raiders only play 2 more games before starting the conference tournament. They play Florida Atlantic at home, then they play Western Kentucky. The Region 4 AAA boys semifinals start tonight. Riverdale plays Oakland, Blackman plays Siegel. Both games will be at Riverdale. Girls Regional AAA tournament, Blackman faces Oakland to see who makes it to a championship game. Fourth quarter, Oakland up 10. Perry gets the bucket. Blackman gets the steal here. Van Zandt cuts the deficit to 8. Up 5, Oakland turns it over. Blackman takes the lead here. Patriots get the free throw to tie the game. Game goes into overtime. First bucket of overtime goes to Oakland. Blackman struggled in overtime. Tough shot here. They just couldn't get anything going. They fouled. Patriots end up winning this game after these free throws. Riverdale beat Coffee County in other Region 4 AAA action. They will play Oakland in the championship game tonight in Riverdale. Now, back to the anchors.
Thanks, Trenton. That's all we have for Middle Tennessee News. I'm Eric Woolworth.
And I'm Kristen Allen. If you missed this or any of our other shows, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net. We'll see you tomorrow.